Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be covering a long-term market analysis for Zilliqa. I'll be looking at some very key levels of support and resistance for both the ZIL-USD and ZIL-Bitcoin pairs. I'm also going to be talking about what I want to see play out in the charts in order for me to get bullish on this altcoin. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, feel free to check out our sponsors in the link in the description below. This channel is partnered with FTX.US. So first I want to start off by talking about this zone I have marked in green. This ranges from around 2.7 to 3 cents. Now this is a very important level of support for Zilliqa, and it is positive to see that the weekly chart has been holding this region as support. You can see over the last few weeks we have come back down to this level and we have continued to close back above this. We had a retest earlier on in July. And then you can see that if we go all the way back to the previous market cycle, this was previously an area of support as well. And eventually when we broke below it, Zilliqa flipped it into resistance on several retests. You can see actually 4 rejections, 2 in 2019 and then 2 more later on in 2020. So this is a very key level here on the weekly, and I do want to see Zilliqa continue to hold this. Now if Zilliqa does not hold this level and we do start to break down and lose this support, the next area I'm going to be watching out for as our next level of support is going to be this level around 1.45 cents. Now, if we go all the way back here to the time where we broke it back in 2018, notice how this is where Zilliqa actually found support off of and eventually started to go sideways in this range. So that was the support held. You can also see a similar pattern playing out in 2020. This is the zone I would watch out for if Zilliqa does not hold this as support. But again, in the short term, we have been holding this as support, so it's positive to see. Another positive sign is the RSI, and I'm going to be talking about the RSI and looking at some divergence, where if we just remove all these drawings first, I want to focus on the fact that the closing prices since February have been in a declining structure. Meanwhile, the RSI has been increasing and rising. So that is the bullish divergence, and it's showing us that on each consecutive move lower on the weekly chart, Zilliqa is becoming less and less oversold, which means that this is starting to get exhausted, this trend. So that is Zilliqa on the USD pair. Now I'm going to switch over here to the ZIL Bitcoin ratio. Now what I'm going to be focusing on first is this very key level of resistance around 400 Satoshis. Now keep in mind that ZIL Bitcoin is nowhere near this as of right now, but this is the level that I do want to see longer term reclaimed before I can start to get bullish on Zilliqa. Now this level is a longer term zone that was previous support back in the last cycle. You can see in 2018 Zilliqa Bitcoin bounced off this level right here in March, and I'm just going to change the color to green. We had another bounce in August and then December before ultimately breaking down. And ever since we broke back below this in April of 2019, Zilliqa has not been able to reclaim this. And in fact, each move up to this level was followed with a rejection and a continuation back down. So that happened on these 2 retests, one retest rejection back in April 2021, and then one more recently back in March. So again, I really want to see Zilliqa Bitcoin start to reclaim this for me to get longer term bullish, because when we have a move, a spike up like we had back in March, this is really what's capping the upside. This is where Zilliqa Bitcoin starts to turn around. This level has definitely been limiting the upside potential with Zilliqa. And again, if we can actually reclaim this and then flip it into support, there is very little resistance ahead of us. We have this lower high back in January, around 670 Satoshis, and then beyond that, there's the all-time high. So once we break above this level, there's a very thin line between that level and the all-time high. So that's really what I want to see to get longer-term bullish. And I would say that what we have to go off of right now is the fact that we might be in this uptrend structure where you could technically say that yes, we have been forming higher lows, and you can see that structure again where we do have this low set in place back earlier on in this year around 100 Satoshis, which is definitely higher than this all-time low back in March of 2020 around 60 Satoshis. So that is sort of the structure with the higher lows, and essentially what I want to see is a continuation back up, retesting this zone around 400 Satoshis, and if we can break above that, then there's very little resistance between here and the all-time high, and then eventually from there we could have some price discovery. But that is much further away, and again, this is still strong resistance until proven otherwise, so this is what I want to see to start to get bullish on Zilliqa. And the outperformance against Bitcoin would bring a lot of relative strength into the USD pair, which could help it push back above some of these resistance areas. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out our sponsors in the link in the description below. If you sign up to FTX.US through the link in the description below or through my referral code SNOWINGCRYPTO, you can get a 5% discount on exchange fees. As always, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.